Well, good evening to all of you. Welcome to Progressively Becoming. My name is Jamel Tony.
Hey everyone, I'm Lakeisha. Thank you guys for joining us for another conversation of Progressively Becoming. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, as you're getting on, make sure you like, comment, and share, and let somebody know that PB is on now. We are in the building, and every Tuesday, right here, 7 p.m. sharp. Y'all, sharp.
So I'm going to need you to eventually
I'm not.
change it up a little bit.
I'm not.
You're not doing it?
No.
It's signature.
It's me.
That is
I'm not doing it.
That's a whole conversation by itself. I'm not changing it up. It's me.
It's me.
Well, with that being said, grace, mercy, and peace to all of you from God our Father, the Lord Jesus Christ. Listen, fam, all of you who have not yet subscribed to our podcast, go ahead and do so now. We are on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, Amazon. We on TuneIn. We got notification probably 30 minutes before we went live that TuneIn has accepted us to be one of their podcasters.
That's great. And I just work here, so I didn't know that.
Yeah. So tune in. Welcome to the TuneIn community.
They jacking on you with your jets on.
and that's why I'm not looking at the comments, because here's what I've learned is that regardless of what happens in life, life has ups and downs, it has ins and outs. Sometimes it can be an emotional roller coaster. But this is what I've learned about life. No matter how hard it gets, turn the music down. No matter how bleak it may become, never get off the boat called life.
Okay.
The Jets has had us up and down, in and out. But I'm not getting off because there is something in waiting that if you can hold out just a little while longer, if you can just believe and keep holding, then something amazing will happen in your life. Yeah. So welcome to all of those on our podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed to our podcast, go ahead and do so now. Catch us on all of our every time we go live, it is on our podcast. I'm not even looking at the comments. The next time.
Comment. I agree, comment. They just need to give it up a quick. Just be done with it.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we was not ready when that clock came down.
We was not.
Yeah. Y'all don't understand what be going on behind here. We were running around and time just was ticking, and we wasn't ready.
We wasn't ready.
Be ye also ready.
Be ye ready.
And I feel like I'm shining. I'm looking at my forehead is humongous. But anyway,
it's all right.
It's all right.
Thursday, 6 a.m. morning devotions. Meet us there. We believe in the power of prayer. Thank you, all of you that have disciplined yourself to the discipline of prayer. We may not want, our bodies may not want to do it, but we want to, right? And so we push past how we feel, and every Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Do us a favor. This Thursday, invite someone to our morning devotions, so that we can just hear what God has to say. So yeah, morning devotion, 6 a.m. Thursday. Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The place of exchange. Are we having audio issues?
Is it mine?
Let us know, folks. Is it mine or is it hers? Thursdays, Sundays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet us on all of our virtual platforms for the Sunday exchange. We praise, worship, thank God for life. We give him honor and glory, and we receive biblical instruction as well. It's our assignment, and that's what we'll be doing until kingdom come.
All right, good. Thank you, guys. Because, my mic did take a tumble before we came on, so it's possible. Yeah. But,
Tiff said I'll be needing, like, a paper towel, and somebody next to me refuses to give me.
When?
I remember one time we was praying, and I promise you, I had so much sweat in my eyes. My eyes was burning me, and but nonetheless, this is what we do. We believe in y'all gonna stop talking about my sweat. We believe in the power of prayer. We sweating. So that demons be released and souls be saved.
Yes.
And the power of God be manifested. So we got to sweat. We gonna sweat. Family, like, comment, and share. Tag a friend, tag a family member. Yes. But tonight's conversation is going to be impactful. Absolutely. Let's talk about it.
Did we talk about Sunday?
We did.
All right. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. My bad. So last week we discussed the importance of setting goals. So we particularly discussed New Year's resolutions. But however, that topic last week can really explain like any goal or desire that you may have that you want to set for yourself. So not just New Year's resolutions. So as we begin a new year, so does the expectations and the thoughts that this year is going to be different than last year.
Yeah.
Oh, this year is going to be better for me than last year. And y'all know here at Progressively Becoming, we believe that our purpose is broken up into many categories. And before Jamel go there, I just want to see those of you who have been on with us all this time.
Yeah, let's get them.
Let's see if y'all know what we're talking about when I say that our purpose is broken up into many categories. What am I talking about? I want y'all to put it in the comments, in the chat. We'll wait a couple of seconds to see if you all know what we're talking about. Because we've said it many times through this last year. On when we speak about purpose, what categories are we talking about? I don't see nothing. I don't see nobody typing. I don't see nothing going on. All I see is...
In the words of a great man, our father, Bishop Sylvester Watts, he said these words. He says, "Hello, walls."
And no, it was not it was in the very beginning, but it was always throughout our discussion.
So our purpose is made up of our life. Our purpose pie is made up of our character, our vocation, our body, our relationships, and our resources.
So you all get an F. F. All right, so the emergence of New Year's begins with the hopeful possibility that this year I can become better in my resources, I could become better in my relationships, I could become better in my character, I could be better in my vocation, which means my career, my school, I could be better in my health, in my body. So we really pray that some of you have set some type of goal. And if you want, you don't gotta call it a New Year's resolution, call it whatever you will, but just make sure that you have set a goal for this upcoming year. And while it may sound like we are preaching to the choir, you will be surprised at the number of people who never set goals, who don't set goals at all. Correct. So I'm gonna ask you, did you set any goals for 2023? And what is your goals for 2023? You don't have to put that in the chat, but ask yourself, do you have any goals? Based on our conversation last week, we challenged you guys to set a goal, to set something that you want to have happen for you in 2023.
Correct. Yeah. And then after you set a goal, you have to, most of us, after we set goals, right, we immediately go into the how. I set a goal for myself. I set a New Year's resolutions. How am I going to achieve that goal? For example, how am I going to pick better at relationships? How will I become a better steward over my resources, right? Mm-hmm. That's time and that's your time and your finances. How will I develop my character and my relationship with God? For some of you, that's a goal. I want to draw closer to God. How will I do that? How will I obtain a better position in my vocation? Or is it time for me to transition? You know, 2023, some of you are like, I need to transition out of where I am vocationally. I need to expand my horizons. How am I going to set that goal? How am I going to achieve the goal of a better position or transition out of my job? And some of you, y'all may be sensing that. So if you sense it, God's been telling you that perhaps this is confirmation you need to move, right? How am I going to take care of my body? All of us sets goals. Right. At the beginning of the year, that we're going to be healthier, we're going to eat healthier, and then we go into, okay, well, how are we going to do that? And while it is great to have a goal, I think it is necessary that all of us have goals. It is great to have a plan. But the question is, why do so many plans fail? Why do our New Year's resolutions and all of our goals seemingly fall to the ground by the time February, March comes in, if we even get that far? Because you can never, please listen to us, you can never effectively and efficiently achieve the how in your goal if you never discuss the why behind that goal or your resolution. The why behind a goal or a resolution helps keep you committed when the how gets rough. All right.
Carmen just made a comment, and I wonder, like, how many people like feel the way that she just put. So she put, I can't do it before I even try to set a goal. I'm already thinking about how I'm gonna fail.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I'm pretty sure she's not the only one that don't even set a goal, because before you think about achieving that goal, you thinking that I'm gonna fail or it's not gonna work out. You think about the negative part of it and never really focus on what the positive side of that could be.
Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah, don't knock it down, right? You know, try it. And let me say this to you. There's a strong possibility. And this may sound negative. This may sound like I have no faith. But there was a strong possibility that you probably will fail at it. Here it is. All of us have failed in multiple areas of our lives. Show me one person that was successful in every goal, every vision, every possibility that they set for themselves. Thomas Edison says this. He says, in his invention of the light bulb, he said, I didn't find one way to work. I found 1,000 ways for it not to work. Right. And yet he found that one way for it to work after 1,000 times it did not work. So remove the expectation, right, that perhaps failure is for me.
Right.
And then just try it, attempt it, and you'll be surprised at yourself. You have to have a goal, right? A goal is a person's ambition or effort. It is an aim or a desired result.
Right.
This year, how can we establish our goals for this year? How can we avoid, and we said it last week,
right,
how can we avoid the resolve, the relapse, and the repeat syndrome?
And I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but resolve is to decide firmly on a course of action. Relapse is that to return to, or you have a setback. And repeat means to do it over again. So we want to try a different approach on how we view things. So y'all know here at Progressively Becoming, we are not trying to get you to think like we think, but we are trying to get you to open up your mind for different ways of seeing things. Absolutely. And expanding your thinking. So that's always the goal of what we're trying to do. We're not trying to get you to think like, Jamel and I, but we are wanting you to just expand your thinking, open your mind, just to see things a little bit differently. Sure. Yeah. And when you are creating goals, there are 4 P's that can assist us.
P's, not B's. P's.
That can assist us in this area. So for those of you that are note takers, make sure you get your pens and your pad ready.
Here we go. Let's go. Class is in session.
So the first P is that we need to be positive.
Somebody throw that in the chat. Your goal needs to be positive.
So pretty much the opposite of how we go in thinking that we're not going to accomplish it, think it's not going to work, think we're going to fail. So we got to think the opposite of that. Correct. So when we are creating goals, remember to make sure that they are positive.
That's it.
So this means that you have to focus on what you want to achieve.
Why are you yelling?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like the neighbors can hear you.
Well, that's because you
I'm just saying.
Me.
Mr. Carter probably had to turn her volume down because you about to blow out her eardrums. Carry on. You like yelling at the people.
I'm nobody yelling. You just always a hater of me. You can't be like me.
Continue.
Anyway, like I was singing, y'all. He's so rude and disrespectful. When you are creating goals, is that better for you?
That's much better.
You're
trying to draw the people in. You yelling at them.
He always coming for me, Tiffany. He always trying to come at me. He just be hating, want to be like me. Anyway, when you are creating goals, remember to make sure that they are positive. This means that you focus on what you want to achieve rather than what you want to avoid. So, for example, this year, and I've said this, this year I will no longer work at this horrible job. Where is the positivity in that statement? It's nowhere. So instead, maybe we can say, this year, my goal is to achieve a promotion or a better paying job. So staying focused on the positive will help improve our outlook, and it will remove any negativity. So this in turn will improve our chances for success. Correct. So reaching your goals will automatically help you avoid your present circumstances. So again, when you reach for your goals, you change your present situation and your environment. Speaking of that statement about, I don't no longer want to work at this horrible job. I remember I used to say that. Like, I hate it here.
You did.
I hate working here. Yeah. I don't want to work here anymore.
Yeah.
And if I had to look back, and when things changed for me, I just really prayed, God, I want a better job. I want a better career. And I listed the positive things that I wanted in my job.
Absolutely.
And not for nothing, God answered the prayer for me. And it wasn't, God, I hate being here. God, I hate this job. I just can't stand it. I just turned that situation and what I was saying around to just make it more positive. God, help me to get a better position. The positive stuff that can come out of me, removing myself from that job and not just the negative of that actual situation.
Yeah, I think oftentimes we can be so negative. And because of that, we focus solely on removing the negative. And for some, removing the negative may be a motivator. But what I will say is, removing the negative will not be a consistent motivator for you. So let's look at the positivity behind what you want to do. I hate the job. No, I just want I want a better position. Right. Even when it comes to our self-image, right? And that's a tough one for many of us. I don't like the way I look. I need to change. And okay, well, let's switch that around. I need to become more healthier. Let's remove the negativity out of our languages and even out of our dreams and goals, and let's be positive with it. Let's look at things as half full instead of half empty. Another P is that they need to be personal. When creating goals, they need to reflect your dreams and your desires. Right? So let's just say, I can't say, okay, well, I want to, my goal is to make it to the moon this year. That's not a dream of mine, nor is it a desire of mine. Right? Goals that are not personal are ineffective. Can somebody say that out loud? Goals that are not personal are ineffective. Your goals should be about you and only you. That's selfish, but we're going to be selfish for a moment. Your goals should be about you and only you. There's space for goals for the family, and every year, we set a goal for our family, right? But your personal goals should be about you and only you. For example, Your goal would be, well, my boss, he will appreciate me, right? That's a goal of mine. That's an ineffective goal because it's not about you. You are putting your goal in the hands of somebody else. And so you no longer have control over that goal. Is now in the hands of somebody else. So making goals personal, you seize ownership of it. You take responsibility of it, right? So if it fails or if it doesn't fail, I'm not blaming nobody else but me. I took personal responsibility and ownership of this goal. If your goals are not personal, you will never achieve them. Making goals personal places the burden of responsibility on you, but it also means that other people will not determine if you reach your goals. And I think we said this months ago, right? That I am no longer allowing people to dictate and to influence what I know I should be doing. But the difference between advice and seeking godly counsel, it's a whole nother thing when someone is dictating what your movements and dictating your actions. Set your goals personal. This is what I'm gonna do for myself. This is what I believe God wants for me, and I'm going to take personal responsibility for that. For example, your goal may be this year, my spouse or girlfriend is going to respect me or love me more, right? That's a great expectation, but it's not personal. And because it's not, you run the risk of being disappointed by expectations you put on people. Right. Maybe saying this year, I'm going to love myself more. Right. I'm going to realize my value and my self-worth. I'm going to like myself more and love myself more. And I will not allow anyone who supposedly loves me to give me any less than I deserve. I put the onus and responsibility of me achieving my goals and not on somebody else. I can't trust you, perhaps like I trust myself. This is on me.
Exactly. So again, the goals so far is being positive and being personal.
Absolutely.
The next one, the goal needs to be possible.
It needs to be possible. Oh my gosh.
So that's a big one. So make sure that the goal is possible. So when creating your goal, you need to make sure that it is possible. Don't set impossible goals for yourself because you're setting yourself up for failure and for disappointment. Creating possible goals demands that you have to be honest with yourself.
I remember last year I went on a 5-day liquid detox. Right? And I did it. I did 5 days straight.
You did.
It was a struggle, but I did it. I was proud of myself. So I think the next month, so the next month, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it again. So this time I'm like, all right, I'm going to call my brothers, right? And I'm going to like, yo, we going on a 5-day liquid detox. Let's get it, right? They did it for about 2 days, if that. It wasn't realistic for them, here's the word, at that time. Whereas for me, it was. It was realistic for me because I had built the stamina, the body, I had built the discipline to do it, whereas they may not have. Your goals have to be realistic. Get off of, Snapchat and I don't know if people use Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and we do, hashtag goals. No. You define the goal that's personal for you and possible for you. There's nothing wrong with reaching for the stars as long as it's your star.
Right.
Your star.
Right.
No one else's. Your star.
Right.
Make it possible for you. And where you cannot reach and where you, may not, be able to hit that star, I've learned, and we say this all the time on Progressively Becoming Morning Devotions, God will do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. But we have to do for ourselves what we can do. And those areas that we can't, now God steps in and does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Make it personal, make it possible.
Yeah, but the point and the main point of that is when you don't make it possible for yourself, and like we said, the end result is gonna be you're not gonna achieve it. You're gonna be discouraged and disappointed, and then you may not want to try anything else because of it, not realizing that you set too high of an expectation or too high of a impossible
increments, step by step. I remember, I'm like a couple of years ago, the first time we went back to the gym, and I see these guys, they heavy lifting, right? So I remember getting on the shoulder press, and I put that bad boy to like 80 pounds, and I'm like. And I'm like, nah, Mel, like you need to drop that down to like 15, 20. Like build your muscle up. Build your muscle up so that I can, because this is what happened to me. Wow. This is what happened to me. I never forget. I did it. And I'm trying to be like everybody else. And I walked out of the gym injured. Because I'm trying to be like somebody else instead of staying in my own lane. When you run the risk of becoming someone else, you run the risk of injury to your confidence, to your discipline, and to your faith. Stay where you are incrementally, and let God expose you to more.
And that aspect of stay in your lane, that's what it really means. Like stay in your lane, stay in where you and reach of. You know, and just so you know, some goals may require like continued education or experience to achieve it, while others will remain like out of reach. So for example, it's that's not so rude. I don't mean this in a rude way, but it's not possible for someone to become a famous singer without any talent whatsoever. So pretty much, if you can't sing, it's probably going to be really impossible before you to become a famous singer.
You won't become it. It's not possible. If you can't sing, more than likely, no one will buy tickets for you to hear you sing. Let's be real with ourselves. You can't sing, and it's okay. Maybe you can read, but you can't sing.
The point of that was you need to assess your talent and determine what you can achieve with hard work and what will be impossible for you to accomplish. So once you have determined which goals are possible, I'm getting on tongue side now, for you to achieve, success will be in your reach.
Yeah, and some people may call this like faith blocking. It's not faith blocking. It's reality. Listen to what Mark Bedison says. Mark Bedison says, faith is not logical, but it isn't illogical either. Faith is theological. It does not ignore reality. It just adds God. It adds God to the equation, right? It does not ignore reality. It just adds God to the equation. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Allow God to develop you where you are. But if you don't have it now, perhaps God didn't give it to you. And you got to find what he did give you to be prosperous in that area. And that may hurt for some of us, because we're trying to sing. What's the next one?
So we have being positive, being personal, and making sure it's possible. The last P will be, we need to prioritize. So things need to be prioritized. Brainstorming goals can be overwhelming.
It really can.
Very overwhelming, because you just running off things that you want to do, you want to accomplish, and it can be very overwhelming. So you will probably have more goals than you can handle. A lot of times, that's what I'm saying. We put all these goals down on paper. We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do it. So this is the time that we need to prioritize those goals. So begin by ranking your goals in order of importance. And choosing the 5 goals that are most important to you. So choose these goals based on your passions. Make sure that it does cover all areas of your life. And areas of your life is the purpose by your character, your vocation, relationships, your body, all of that. And there should be a goal, a written goal. Write it down for every area of your life.
And I want to I want to pause for one moment. I need to put that up there.
Pause for the cause.
Because I don't want this to be missed. When it comes to our purpose, there should be a goal for every purpose in your life. Mm-hmm. For your character, your vocation, your body, your relationships, and your resources. All right? Go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Put it in your phones. When you sit down and goal set for the year, what is my goal for my character, my vocation, my body, my relationships, and my resources? Mm-hmm. It's not just comprehensive. Sometimes it's specific. Good job. And I think I said that right, Tom.
You said that right.
Yeah. We have about 8 minutes, right?
We trying to do better.
So the question, we are trying to do better. So the question is how can we effectively achieve our goals, right? All of the 4 P's that our goals have to be. It needs to be prioritized. It needs to have positivity. It needs to be possible, and it needs to be personal, right? Once we have established what those goals are, mm-hmm. we have it, right? The question is, how does it become possible? There was one word we want to discuss, and this will lead us into next week. Mm-hmm. It is called willpower. Because somebody throw that in the chat. Willpower. Willpower. Mm-hmm. Willpower has been designed. I feel it. I feel something on my back. Willpower has been defined by many as temporary burst of desire and motivation. Mm-hmm. Right? When you think of willpower, you think of, okay, I have it.
Yeah.
And I can achieve something mm-hmm. at this very moment. Right? Willpower is not this temporal burst of energy and motivation. Willpower is something that has to be developed and controlled. Uh-huh. I need to say that again. Willpower has to be developed and controlled. Mm-hmm. Let us prove it to you.
All right. So, this is the next exercise we're going to do. When you see the information on the screen, you want to say what the color is and not what word you see. And you're going to have 3 seconds to do each one.
I want you to grab a pen and I want you to put down how many you may have correctly. All right? Honestly. You will only say
the color, not the word.
3 seconds for each one. Here we go.
All right. That's more than 3 seconds. But...
Wait a minute. Oh. That was technical issues. Okay. Where's the other ones at?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
I'm
fired. There we go.
Yeah, I got that one because it was like up for 55 seconds.
Let's run this back.
The end. It's only 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
That's it.
Your mind immediately has to be retrained. Yeah. Let's do another exercise. Here we go.
So this one, You got to look for the arrow that is pointing in the opposite direction of the other ones. So look at the arrows, but you have to figure out the one that's pointing in the opposite direction of the other one.
And call it left or is it right?
Right. So if you see it left or right, then
here we
put
go.
that.
And we go.
Action.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shift. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not moving. Technical difficulties.
Got it.
Okay. Why is he saying left, right? I think Quasi got 2 answers, left, right. I'm like, wait a minute.
Here's what just happened. When it came to the colors and the words, when the meaning of the word conflicts with the color of the word, you have conflict. Somebody throw that in the chat. Conflict. You have to use your self-control to power your brain through this conflict to come to the right answer.
Right.
How hard was that? Yeah. To go against what's normal for you, and seemingly in an instant, you have to retrain your brain in your eyes. Mm-hmm. Willpower is very similar. Willpower is a person's ability to consciously control their behavior.
Mm-hmm. And the key word in that is consciously. So that's deliberate and intentional. And that takes time to develop.
Yeah. Because it may go against what you are used to. Mm-hmm. Willpower is not this, oh, I can do it now. Like, no. It is intentional, deliberate. Mm-hmm. It's consciously controlling your behavior. Willpower is not an indicator of your strength.
Right.
It is not an indicator of your strength. Willpower is a combination of your motivation, your habits, your self-control, and your ability to set realistic goals. Don't look for willpower.
Right.
Develop it.
Develop it.
Through your motivation, through your habits, through your self-control, and by you setting realistic goals.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it. So next week, we want to, because, so this is January, right? And many of us are setting goals, right? So we need to define what that means and how do we be successful for 2023. So for the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks that we have left in January, that's what we're going to be talking about. How can we be successful, in setting goals and accomplishing them?
Right. Because what we don't want to continue to do is have this pattern of every year we come into January, and we have these goals or resolutions or whatever we want to call them that we set, and we do absolutely nothing with that.
Yeah.
And then the next year comes and we're in the same situation that we was in the year before. So the goal is to make at least one of those goals a reality.
The goal is to progressively become.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's to progressively become.
And in all areas
of
our lives. And I'm pretty sure with these goal settings, there's a goal that we can set in each one of our purpose path.
Absolutely.
In our character, resources, vocation, relationships, and in our body. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that's the 5 areas that we can focus on this year. So we can put one thing in each of those categories, and whatever, importance is it for you, we can just take one of those things at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in this year, up in 2023, we can at least accomplish some of that. So let that be a challenge and a goal for us to do this year.
So here it is, because we often say, "Oh, you all talk, no action." I wanna put that to the test for you. Are you all talk and no action? And here's the action, as my wife just said. This week, I want you to sit down and write one goal for each of those 5 areas. Mm-hmm. This week. And I want to challenge you, December 31st, 2023. The Lord belay is coming. I want to challenge you to look back at that piece of paper and ask and see, what have I accomplished?
Right.
You know what that would do? It'll produce an element of honesty with yourself that's just like, wow, this is me.
Exactly.
That's the challenge. This week, what goals am I going to set in those 5 purpose areas of my life? And before 2024 roll in, I'm going to look at that piece of paper and I'm going to say, I did this. I almost got through this. Mm-hmm. I didn't start this.
Right.
But the goal is to do all of them.
Right, exactly.
And you can do it.
So this is going to be our year of action, y'all, at Progressively Becoming. Action. Not just us talking and, it's... Anyway. All right now. I'm about to get off the stool. Anyway, so we about action this year for 2023. And Lydia, you right. Controlling your face expression is willpower. Girl. Yeah, I know. I've been working on that for years. So yeah, pray for me.
Yeah, so next week we'll discuss self-control. We are going to discuss discipline.
Yes.
We're going to discuss self-control, willpower, how all of that ties into each other so we can progressively become for 2023. Family, meet us Thursday, 6 a.m., morning devotions. Bring a friend, bring a family member. Let us go before the throne of grace where we believe God will meet us. He hastens to perform his word, and I think he's hastening this year to perform his word in our lives. If all hearts and minds are clear.
Action. Yes, y'all. Yes. Yeah. Action.
Yeah.
We action.
Yeah.
Jack.
Join us next Thursday for another conversation of Progressively Becoming. Tuesday for next conversation. I don't know what to do. Progressively Becoming. And just put down on your calendars. Next month, Progressively Becoming turns 1.
We turn 1.
We turned 1. February, we have a lineup of, I'm not going to tell you, but you don't want to miss it. Every Tuesday in February, we are doing it. You don't want to miss this. We have multiple guests and friends that will be joining us every week to help all of us progressively become family. Go with God. Wait. What's up?
I just got to address this real quick about the facial expression, y'all. I mean, I've been working on this for years, and let me tell you, I think I've done better. But then a lot of times people will say, it don't be my facial expression, it'll be my eyes.
Yeah.
Like they'll get big.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, you have not done better with your facial.
I have. No, you haven't. For those of you that know me, do you think I've done better with my facial expressions with things?
No, you haven't.
I tried. I've been trying.
We can look at you and tell exactly what you're thinking. Fam, go with God.
Anyway, that is not true. What y'all think? I thank you, Carmen. Thank you. Quanti, what you say? Sharon, what you say? Thank you. See, the haterism.
It's 7:48.
Hateration. You's a haterator.
Fam,
thank
adios.
y'all for joining us tonight for another conversation. We'll see y'all next Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here. We love y'all. Have a blessed night.